For the 45th problem on the second ACT practice test, in the figure below, two non-adjacent sides of a regular pentagon, 5 congruent sides and 5 congruent interior angles, are extended until they meet at point X. What is the measure of angle X? So in essence, what we're trying to do is figure out what this angle here would be. But what we know is that this is a regular pentagon. So what that means is that all of these side lengths are all the same, but it also means that all of the angles inside these interior angles, that these are all the same as well. So we just have to figure out what the total amount of degrees are inside a regular pentagon. So in other words, we know that within a triangle that all of the angles always add up to 180 degrees. But for a pentagon, we want to know what all of the angles always add up to. And a trick for being able to do this is essentially to figure out how many triangles can fit in this pentagon. Though you can use this trick for octagons, squares, decagons, or any size shape. So the trick is that we're going to essentially fit triangles within this pentagon. And we could fit one here, another one here, and that would be it. We have 3 triangles in it now. And since each triangle contains a total of 180 degrees, and we have 3 of them, then we can say that a regular pentagon has 3 times 180 degrees. And if we multiply this together, we get 540 degrees. So this is the total angle measure of a pentagon. Now, the key here, though, is to figure out what each of these angles has for its measure. Since we know all the angles are equal, and we know there are 5 angles, we can essentially just take this total angle measure and divide by 5. So now we're considering each individual angle. So each angle would be this 540 degrees divided by 5, since there are 5 angles. And when you divide 540 by 5, what you get is 108 degrees. So each of these angles within this pentagon, so these angles here, for instance, each of these would be 108 degrees. So let's mark that, since knowing these angle measures are needed to figure out what these angles are within the triangle that we're concerned with. So what you can see is that this blue angle here and this orange angle, these form the angles in a line. And this total angle containing both of these would be 180 degrees. So if you subtract this 108 from 180, you can find the measure of this angle, which is 72 degrees. And by the same logic, this angle here would also be 72 degrees, since it's a supplement to this 108 degree angle. So both of these are 72 degrees, and we know that the angles in a triangle always add up to 180 degrees. So 72 plus 72 is 144 degrees. So this red angle here, we now know is just the difference between 180 and 144, which is simply 36 degrees. So angle X has a measure of 36 degrees.